It's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's another episode of Committed. I'm your host, Jake Lobrak. Welcome back to the show where we interview the incoming class of 2024 and find out why they chose Newman University as their intended school to continue their education and their program development. Alongside me today, Erin Donovan from Morton, PA. Welcome to the show, Erin.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Erin, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you went to high school, and just some general knowledge, so the listeners and viewers can kind of hear who you are.
So, hi, I'm Erin. I attend Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield. I participate in cross country and track. I participate in this shows. I'm a member of the National Honor Society, the Community Service Corps, Catholic Athletes for Christ, and DHDM, which is like similar to Penn State's Thon.
Gotcha. Awesome. So very involved. Great to hear. So, tell me, what. So Cardinal O'Hara, very local to Newman, out in Morton, PA. I'm sorry, Springfield, PA. Excuse me. So what's that? About 20 minutes from Newman. How did you initially hear about Newman, or is it just through the school?
So actually, our high school graduates from Newman at the Miranda Center. So I was lucky enough to attend my brother's graduation and like other graduations for working for NHS. So just seeing that building and being there, I fell in love. And also in grade school, we had a CYO basketball game in the gym. So I was able to get to know about Newman through that and experience the campus before even like getting to tour.
So you know the Miranda Center inside and out.
Yeah.
Awesome, great to hear. Tell me a little bit about your high school experience with communications. Like you said, you're intended to be a communication major, communication digital media major at Newman. Tell me how that kind of sparked your interest.
So at O'Hara, I took a journalism class, and my teacher, Ms. McDermott, was a graduate of Newman, and she spoke highly of the program, and I really enjoyed that class. And I like public speaking and writing, and I know that communications deals with a lot of that. So I thought it would be perfect for me to join the program. And when I toured, just finding even more out about the program intrigued me to want to pursue the major.
Absolutely. And one thing that, is so cool about Newman is the fact that we offer hands-on learning right from the get-go. So you'll walk in as a freshman, and if you want to have a radio show, we'll teach you our system. We'll show you the software, and we'll get you on the air. Can you share how that maybe impacted your decision making?
So when I toured, I was lucky enough to have you, Jake, as my tour guide. And what was really cool, I when we walked into the building, just getting to know that as soon as freshman year, you can get your hands on the equipment, and also just hearing how successful you were doing, and knowing as soon as freshman year, you can also internship and get your foot out the door and network was really something that I found exceptional since other schools didn't really offer that. And on the day I toured, you asked if anyone would like to volunteer to announce on the radio. So I volunteered, and it was really fun. And I'll just always remember that from my tour. It stood out, and it was really fun for me to do.
That's so awesome to hear. Whenever I do a tour, I don't do a whole lot of them, but whenever I show prospective students the communication building, I always take them on. I always offer to take them on the air because it's one of those things that you never know what impact they may have on a student. When I toured Newman, I had the same opportunity. I was in there as a junior, a high school junior, and they took me in the radio station, took me on the air, and that was one of the coolest things as a high school student to be able to do. And so I know how that impacted me, and I offer to all the prospective students that I show the comm building to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked about your journalism class at O'Hara. We've had you on the air at Newman already on WNUW. Where within the communication program do you kind of see yourself gelling? Are you into like sports reporting or news reporting, or maybe you want to be a radio on-air DJ or talent?
So actually, at the moment, I'm still a little unsure, like where I want to take it. But I know that I like to write and I like to public speak. So, and just when I visited Newman, it seemed that they would be able to help me get me on the right path and direct me where I want to go with this major and help me with like internships and figuring out where I'll fit. So I hope that as I go through my college journey, I'll figure out more where I fit with the program.
Yeah, and that's totally okay. You're what, 17, 18 years old?
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have so 4 years full of insightful knowledge ahead of you and hands-on experience that if you find yourself really loving journalism, we're gonna have you emphasize in that. Or maybe you really love production and production elements, and you can emphasize in that because we have three emphases within the communication digital media program. We have the journalistic emphasis, the production emphasis, and then the strategic emphasis. So that's more of public relations and such. But wherever you find yourself in that path, we're gonna help you along that road and help you find yourself in your true passion. And then once you find that, we're gonna help you develop it and get to where you need to be so you can work in the industry, the day after you graduate.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so tell me, you talked about how you love public speaking, you love being on camera. We offer something that we call the Newman Update, or is our news show every week. We offer students the opportunity to be involved and write news stories and to be on camera. That kind of sounds like something that might be of interest to you, since you kind of talked about the journalistic point of view, but also the on-camera presence.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd be interested to do.
Yeah,
Um,
so something that, we love doing is we like to get you involved as soon as possible, whether that means the day you walk on campus or tomorrow. So we have a news show tomorrow that you're more than welcome to tune into. And if that seems of something of interest and you want to get involved before you even walk in the door, Newman, you give us a phone call and we'll get you on the news show. We'll have you, if you want to write a story for us, we want to get you involved as soon as we can because that's the type of program that we want to offer to students at Newman and give them that ability. Um,
that's really awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And tell me, let's transition a little bit here. At O'Hara, you run cross country, excuse me, and track. Talk a little bit about that.
So I ran from a young age. I started cross country in second grade and track in fourth grade. So I've always really liked to run. For me, like out of all the 3 seasons, cross country is my favorite because I like long distance. I like running hills and just seeing the different scenery. The best moment in my running career in high school was we won our PCL championships this year, and my dad was my coach. So it was really nice to get to share that with him and with the team. We hadn't won a PCL championship since my freshman year, so getting to bring the plaque back to O'Hara and having a major part in that was really exciting for us. And seeing how excited my dad was for me and for the team was really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a cool, experience and memory to have. When did you start running competitively?
So like second grade, in cross country, I did like CYO, and track also was fourth grade, like CYO. So that's when I started racing, and then figured out along the way that I liked the long distance. So like on the track, I'd run the mile or the 2 mile, and my like most competitive was in my high school years. That's when I started to get medals and place and bring my time down. So,
Sure, that's all you can ask for, right?
yep, yep.
When you go into a meet, what's your specific event?
So in cross country, everyone like runs the same thing. So it's like 3 miles, and then for a track meet, my main events are the mile or the 2 mile, which is 8 laps around the track. And then indoor, I also do like the mile, which is 8 laps around the track, or the 2 mile, which is like a longer interval.
Mhm. Awesome. And so, are you looking to continue all of those different events at Newman, like the different cross country and track and indoor track combination?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I at my one tour, it was an athletic open house, so I got to get in contact with Coach Holcomb, and he talked to me and my family, and he just was really kind and down to earth, and asked me what I was interested in and what I enjoy to do. And yeah, I hope to continue with long distance and potentially try steeplechase in college because that's not an event we have in high school, but I've always enjoyed like going to the Penn relays and watching people compete in that event. So that's one thing I'd like to
Yeah,
try.
awesome. Hey, that was actually my next question. What was the impact that, some of the coaching staff and athletic trainers had on, your decision to continue your athletic career in college?
Yep. Yeah. Coach Holcomb was really nice. He was super awesome. And he really sold the program and just talked about how I'd be a key component. And just it was really nice to get to know him and that he cared not only about athletics, but like academics, which I like too.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about being a Division III athlete is that you have that nice combination of academics, but also that competitive athletic field. So it's a focus on both of those. Can you speak to how maybe that impacted your decision to choose Newman in a Division III college in the NCAA?
Yeah, academics is very important to me, and I put that above everything else. So with Division III, I knew I'd be able to continue playing a sport I love, but also focus on my academics and succeed well in the classroom, which is ultimately my main goal is to do well in the classroom. So,
Yeah, and that's such a great mindset to have because at the end of the day, I'm on a couple teams at Newman. I play roller hockey at Newman, and one of the things my coach preaches is that uh, at the end of the day, we're not going to make a salary off our sport uh, because we're playing D3. They want to emphasize the academic piece uh,
yeah.
and the fact that we're not going to be professional hockey players or something. We're playing for fun and to play with a collegiate team. And so, did that have an impact on? Maybe did your coach say that to you in your athletic open house?
Yeah, it's always like you want to win and do well, but your main focus is to enjoy yourself and have fun. And my dad's my coach, and he's always said, put studies first. That's your main
Mhm.
priority. And for us, like there's a checklist, so it's always God, family, school, and then any of your other activities or sports.
Yeah, such a great checklist to have to really set your priorities, in a list. Tell me real quick, what's your favorite track memory, cross country memory, the one that stands out the most?
Probably PCLs. That was really awesome for our whole team, and that's a big one. And then also just like getting to travel different places. We went to Hershey for a state meet, which was really fun, and we would go to like Chocolate World after, and
Hmm.
so that was always a good time.
That's awesome. That's such a cool experience to have with your teams and your friends, on the team.
Yep.
Coming back to Newman, uh, you talked about the track team at Newman. You talked about the cross country team for Newman. You talk about the major. Talk about the academic standard that Newman has kind of set, and that you've kind of like experienced in touring Newman. Um, like
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
So I was going to say to concise that like question a little bit. Talk about what your expectations are to receive from an academic standpoint.
So when I stepped on Newman, all the professors seemed like they really wanted you to succeed and to get your foot out the door and to be able to graduate in 4 years and get into the working world, which was really important for me that I want to be able to graduate in 4 years and get my foot out the door and start with whatever job that the major will take me in. And they just seem to put academics at a high standard and for you to do your best and do well, which is really important to me.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about Newman is the class or student to professor ratio, where we have, most of our classes are maybe, 15 to 1, 20 to 1, 25 to 1. Is that smaller atmosphere? Did that speak to you a little bit?
Yeah, I really liked that. knowing it was a small class size so that my professor would know who I am, that they know my name, and I wouldn't just be a number. And knowing that like I could contact them at any time for ask for help, and that was really special to me. That was important.
Yeah, a lot of the times, your professors are going to make a strong effort to get to know your name starting from the first day. And they'll, usually have it known within a week or two. And they'll be checking up on you for better or for worse. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but, if you miss a class, a lot of professors will reach out to you, be like, hey, we didn't see you in class. Are you doing okay? Is everything all right
Mhm.
with you? Which it's so cool to have that connection with your different professors, because not only do they care for your academics, but they care for you as an individual.
Yeah, that was really important to me. I like that knowing they care about you and they want you to be successful and help you get the best out of your time at Newman.
Yeah, and talking about success, 4 years from now, you'll be walking across the Miranda Center stage again. First time high school, second time college. Where do you see yourself going in the field?
So I probably see myself working for like a company, and a big dream of mine is like to travel. So maybe traveling different places. But we'll see. I have to figure out where I want to go first, and then go from there.
Sure, sure. Do you have a dream internship or in mind that you want to, like, say your junior year, I really want to intern for this company or this place?
Possibly like ABC or one of the news networks. I feel like that would be a really cool internship to have.
Yeah, and one of our professors who teaches our television course, her name's Lee Polkines. She works at NBC. She's a nightly news director for NBC 10. So you'll probably have her at some point if you choose to take that course.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and there's nothing like learning from someone who's in the industry. She's been a director for years, has won a couple Academy Awards, and having that experience is second to none.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Uh, Correction, she won a couple Emmys. Sorry about that. And so, tell me, before we wrap kind of things up, we talked about where where your dream job or dream internship is, one of the big local news agencies. We talked about the end goal. Anything else that you want to add?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Erin, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Committed, another episode of Committed. It was great to see you again. We met at one of the open houses, and here we are again talking as a committed student.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me. It's nice to
for
see you
sure.
again.
Yeah, absolutely, Erin. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We appreciate having you, hearing your story. And if you're out there watching and you want to be on our show, email us at newmedia@newman.edu, neumedia@newman.edu, or DM us on Instagram, New Media. We'd love to have you on our show. We'd love to hear your story and why you've chosen Newman. That's going to wrap things up for Erin Donovan. I'm Jake Lobrecht saying so long, and we'll see you next time.